This video reflects the academic staff and students' experience of the virtual field trip to Vietnam. It places an actual field trip by Westminster students takes place every December. As a result of the COVID-19, we were unable to conduct our trip this academic year, and hence we decided to have a virtual one. The field trip is an introduction to Vietnamese history, politics, and society. It examines different questions. For example, how Vietnam has successfully developed since 1980, what role the state has played, what has been the contribution of the international organizations, what has Vietnam done so successfully to tackle COVID-19, where the most prosperous nations have failed. It answers these questions through 12 online lectures, workshops, recorded videos from UNESCO, UN, NGOs, Vietnamese Women's Museum, Hanoi Prison, an interview with academics from Hanoi University. We hope to contribute to deep understanding of Vietnam and offer an international experience to our students.
For many years, we welcome students and professors from University of Westminster, a program led by Dr. FARHANG. We work together to deliver academic activities, lectures, discussions, visits to event house in Hanoi by collaborating with UN Women, UNESCO, UN Habitat, the International Organization for Migration, IOM, etc., etc. Participants from both sides, University of Westminster and Hanoi University, enjoy so much. We treasure these opportunities. Now, during the COVID-19 pandemic and digital era, I strongly believe that this virtual field trip includes recorded educational video and live sessions is an outstanding model of international cooperation in education and training.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks have been really good. I've really enjoyed meeting like-minded people, especially the Vietnamese students and academics. It's really interesting to hear their first-hand opinions and views on their country and their way of life, and looking at the contrasts between the UK and Vietnam.
This virtual field trip, when it was offered to me, I was excited for it, but also on the other hand, I didn't know what I was expecting. But it was a whole lot better than what I thought it would be. When I went into this field trip, I knew absolutely nothing about Vietnam. All I knew was about the Vietnam War, and not even that in detail. And I've come out of this virtual field trip knowing more about their politics, more about their culture, and I've learned more about their education system. And what I liked most about this trip was we got to get a first-hand experience from Vietnamese students, and they answered all our questions, which I thought was really nice and really made us feel like we were actually there with them. And I really liked that, and I'm really grateful for all that I've learned in this field trip.
What I have found most interesting in taking a part of the planning of the field trip is the various tasks that we have all been a part of, and so interesting to see everyone's different perspective of Vietnam from all around the world, and also to see the Vietnamese students' point of view as well.
This experience taught me a lot about the organization and planning of such online events, and first thing that I've learned is that it takes a conscious involvement of all the members of the team to conduct such informative and successful meetings. There needs to be a true dedication of all the people involved in the project, including students, academics, along with the passion to create and contribute into the field trip to make everything work. It can be very difficult to organize everything, including the fact that people who participate there are from different parts of the world and they live in different time zones. That's why time management was one of the most helpful aspects in the planning of the virtual field trip. More people means more opinions and more diverse content of the meetings.
When I was asked if I wanted to be part of this project, I knew instantly I did. Because I wasn't able to go to Vietnam with my module this year because of coronavirus, I knew that this was a perfect opportunity to see the things that I would have seen and meet the people that unfortunately I couldn't. So this opportunity was great. If I were to get to go to Vietnam, I hope I'd be able to see the people that I've got to know so well while doing this project.
Prior to joining the virtual field trip, I was hesitant in whether or not I would enjoy it, therefore my expectations were quite low. However, I'm very pleased to have taken part as I've learned a lot about Vietnam in terms of their politics, culture and educational system. Although I was unable to go to Vietnam due to the COVID outbreak, the field trip was very informative and cleared many misconceptions I had. I truly benefited from the interactive sessions and meetings both with Westminster and Vietnamese students. I really enjoyed writing articles and doing my own research alongside these meetings and discussions to enhance my knowledge of Vietnam.
Being a part of this virtual Vietnam field trip project was very amazing. Actually, the most interesting aspect I found from being a part of the planning team was that we had these collaborative meetings every week, and we had students from the Hanoi University and like guest speakers / like academics, which was really lovely because we got to learn a lot of like cultural differences and barriers and how we can overcome all this. Honestly, that was probably the best part for me, seeing how we could all gel together. It was really a heartwarming experience. I really loved being a part of it.
I learned a lot about the country of Vietnam, and this includes aspects of it such as the history, the economic growth and current COVID-19.
In secondary school, I wasn't really taught so much about Vietnam, only where it is and a bit about the Vietnamese War, but I think that's it. And then I started to study this module called Learning in an International Environment. And I heard about Doi Moi. I think this is the thing which really amazes me about Vietnam, that they could manage to do such an economic transition this fast.
From the various different tasks that we had to complete, such as writing the blog posts and reviewing other students' blog posts, from videos to interacting with students from Hanoi during weekly meetings. And the same would go for the videos. The students from Hanoi University would create well-made videos and send to us for us to watch and reflect and to ask questions on those.
One of the most incredible opportunities that I took up this year was helping to plan the virtual field trip to Vietnam. Whenever I heard about this opportunity, I wasn't really quite sure what to expect. I remember in my second year being so jealous of all my friends who were posting their pictures and videos of all of the cool things they were doing in Vietnam and all the cool people they're meeting too, and I remember just being really jealous that I didn't sign up for the class. So this year, whenever I found out that things would be turned virtual, I was really curious and decided to help out, and I'm so glad that I did. I've been really blown away by not only being able to work with Vietnamese students to plan a trip, that's just really cool on its own, but also the sorts of conversations that have come up in our meetings have been very thought-provoking and have really broadened my perspective, and it's been really special to be able to welcome that Vietnamese perspective through getting to know the Vietnamese students while planning the field trip.
I must say it has been an incredible opportunity to learn about another culture. I think everyone who took part has come out of it a lot more knowledgeable about many things. And I think my favorite thing about this project was the fact that it was so useful in breaking down barriers culturally, but also just filling in those knowledge gaps that you cannot fill unless you talk to somebody from a different part of the world. And I think our university has done a great job trying to decolonize the curriculum, but something like this where you get to talk to students, to people who actually live in a different part of the world and spend their every day there, and they have so many different insights to give us based on their upbringing, their culture, traditions, their national history, and so on. So just getting that kind of insight from people has been absolutely incredible, and I would recommend this experience to everyone.
So from the Vietnam virtual field trip, not only have I learnt a lot of the academic side of things, so Vietnam as a country, how it's developing, how it compares to the UK, how our cultures and customs clash or are similar in different ways. But apart from that, I've learned a lot of transferable skills, which I think will be very, very beneficial in the future when it comes down to employment and just general life skills, such as communication skills, organization skills, team leading, time management. Being in my third year of uni, I think this trip has actually allowed me to find a healthy balance between my studies and my extracurricular activities. So I think there are a lot of long-term benefits that I've gotten from this trip, and I'm so grateful.
The virtual field trip has been a great experience for me. I've learned a lot from my peers in Vietnam and as well as my peers here through the little projects that we've been doing.
The thing that amazed me the most was the learning process. Our interaction amongst each other and with the Vietnamese peers from Hanoi University was as well truly inspiring. And
watching, creating videos and articles from both Westminster students and Hanoi students, I felt like not only did it establish a connection between Hanoi students and Westminster students, but it also opened up my eyes to like different perspectives that Vietnamese students have compared to Westminster students.
So I wasn't able to do this project during my studies as it was not part of my course, but as a graduate and alumni I've been able to join the project, and I was really happy to join the project because I already had knowledge of Vietnam, but only in the context of the Vietnam War and how it was perceived on a global stage during the Cold War.
I think that this virtual field trip not only allowed me to connect with Westminster students, but also gave me the cultural and educational knowledge during the time limited travel and exposure due to the COVID-19. Though not being able to meet you face to face, this virtual field trip brought me different and interesting experiences. I was delighted to share my knowledge about the diverse culture of Vietnam, our country, and this was a very meaningful project and would be a memorable one for me. Thank you for sharing useful knowledge and informative presentations as well. Hopefully, I can meet all of you one day.
For me, the virtual field trip was very fun and knowledgeable for Vietnamese students in general, and for me in individual. So although it has been 2 years of participating in a trip with Westminster students, and actually this is the first time of me, but every time joining the trip I feel really happy to connect and to change. So I could see, like I could understand the views of both sides, and also the cultural exchanges was really fun. So this trip was more special than all the previous ones because it was organized online due to COVID. Although working online has so many disadvantages, but however, that does not mean that we are lack of the spirit of enthusiastic and positive exchange. And I feel proud to be a part of the trip, and I hope that the Westminster students can come to Vietnam next year to really experience the feeling.
I just want to congratulate all the students both here at the University of Westminster and at Hanoi University who have been involved in organizing and who have taken part in this fantastic field trip to Vietnam. It really shows how we have been able to continue with our international engagement even during times of lockdown and online learning. And it's been wonderful to see our students rise to the challenge and not let travel restrictions stop them from visiting, albeit virtually, and learning about and get a proper insight into a range of different organizations in Vietnam and to get a sense for Vietnamese society. And in particular, it's been good to see our students working together with and making connections with fellow students in Vietnam.
We hope this was a useful reflection of the virtual field trip by students and academics from Westminster and Hanoi University. Should you need further information, please don't hesitate to contact me.